gentlemen, welcome. This is your coach, Kamrul Hassan. Welcome to My Career, My Future program. You know why I have been doing this program? Last 18 years, I have been working for various multinational and local corporations. One thing that I have assured myself that is, it is not your education, it is not that you know, that would determine your career progress, your career path, or anything that you are looking forward right now, wherever you are. But how you use your skill, how you develop yourself, how you carry yourself, what you do, how you do, and also where you do. Not everything is going to help you. And that's the exact thing, whatever I have done over the 18 years of life. I have done so many mistakes. And I thought, if I can bring all those experiences for you, probably it might be helpful for you. And together, we want to help you to develop whatever you want to achieve in your career. And thus, this is a network. Together, myself and all the mentors, those who are coming, wealth of experience, together we have thousands of years of experience. And that's what we want to give you as a gift, so that you can develop based on the requirement. And today, we have such a guest who has diversified experience working into the human resources domain, developing talents, recruiting talents, and also nurturing those talents. What it takes today, you got to understand the entire business domain. Please help me to welcome my today's guest, Mr. Sayeed Nasir, who is working as General Manager, bKash. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sayeed Nasir to this program.
Thank you, Kamrul Bhai.
Welcome to this program, Nasir Bhai. What a wonderful experience for me to have you into this program, where you are looking into the talent acquisition and organizational development, organization like bKash. So what it takes today and how you have started your career to reach to that position. Today you are developing, you're taking care of all these talents, which is taking the organization forward.
Thank you, Kamrul Bhai. Special thanks for inviting me in your session. Such a wonderful session, such a wonderful initiative, I should say, at first. So, yeah, start with, as you was just saying, I am working in a domain of developing people, developing talent, nurturing talent. To start that, to do that, basically I had to develop myself. So it didn't happen in a day. So it's my 13th year of corporate experience. After my graduation, I started. So maybe you are interested to know about what actually I did in my last 13 years.
Right. So from where you have started, so why also you have chosen HR, such a vibrant and colorful career?
Yeah. Well, that has a interesting story. So the story lies in the shift of my career. I will go into that a few minutes later. Before that, let me tell you why I have chosen HR. So I graduated from North Southern University. I did business graduation. So I had dual major, finance and HR. So yeah, I started my major in finance. So after doing few courses, I found out that maybe I was looking for something else. My teacher, my peers, my friends and well-wisher were suggesting me that I was good in interpersonal skill. I was good with people. And this is not something they said, this is something I used to feel from my school and college life. I still remember I arranged a picnic. For the first time in my life while I was in class 5.
Class 5.
Yeah.
As an organizer.
So, as an organizer.
Okay.
So I was an organizer from my school life. So I used to enjoy that. Well, then again, I had an egg to this corporate life, especially in the finance and banking. I saw my father being there, so that's something I inherited. So that's how I started with finance. But later on, when I understood that I had a better skill to portray, so I took HR as my second major. So that's how I finished my BBA from North South University with a dual major in finance and HR. And then I started my internship with CTNA. So over there I was doing my internship in corporate banking. So yeah, I had good memories over there. I'm still connected with the people with whom I worked there. Maybe in some other chance I will also share that. So I'm going to that part. So after my internship, I immediately joined Standard Chartered Bank.
Okay.
So over there I was in the core banking operation. So yeah, I worked there for 2 years, and at the same time I was doing MBA in North South University, and that time I didn't do any luxury, I only took HR.
Okay.
So one day I walk into the room of the head of HR, the then head of HR of Standard Chartered Bank, and I asked him, I want to switch my department. So I was a young man then, so he asked, where do you want to work? I said HR. So then he asked the next question, why? So I was very nervous. I answered, because I'm doing MBA in HR.
Okay.
So he laughed.
Okay.
So he said, why don't you go back and really think, why do you want to join HR? And that's the interesting story. He called the HR business partner of my unit. He introduced her with me, and he said, why don't you sit with her and try to know what HR does, and then figure out whether it is your cup of tea or not. So I got the chance with that introduction and to portray my both interest and skill I had. And after a few months, there was a role opening in the newly opened department called Organization Development and Learning Academy in Standard Chartered Bank. So I was interviewed. Few other candidates from different countries were also interviewed, and I got selected. And that's how I started
with HR.
Finally, started my journey with HR, and from then
we just started to progress. Okay, somebody somewhere told you, right, in the university that you are good at something, right? They gave you feedback, and then you realize and reflect.
Okay, right.
Was it useful for your case really to look down and trying to understand who you really are?
Yeah, exactly. This is what actually I wanted to mention, because the story I said why I took finance, because I just saw my dad's friend, my neighbors wearing nice tie, nice suit, going to banks, working in the financial sector. So maybe that's what I saw. That's something actually attracted me. But what I wanted to mention is it is important to know yourself first. It's not something that you have seen a gorgeous job and you need to jump into that. So yes, maybe my first decision to work in the financial sector the reason of my decision was that. But later on, when I tried to figure out where am I good at, where is my strength, then I found out maybe HR will be the place where I will be good at. I will be good with people. I enjoy when I contribute towards someone's career, someone's development. If I can guide someone, that's something that encourages me. So yeah, that's how I'm in the field of HR, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So that looks like that confidence connected with your heart and also with your mind as well, because things you have mentioned that you looked into what you are good at and what you are also passionate about doing. So then you recalled a memory of as a school kid, 5. So all these things looks like connected with your passion, purpose, and what you're good at.
Right.
And that's the reason, do you think, that you have progressed within your career within this span of time? You have reached to that positions. Normally it takes a bit more time.
Yeah.
If we can think about like that way, somebody who doesn't like to do things, but if he keeps on doing, do you think that it would take much time than normally you did?
Well, I will not say in that way, because
Because you are doing it passionately, you know your strength, you know that you love to do it, you have connections with the purpose, and inside that supports, you're enjoying your work.
Yeah, see, the word you just mentioned is passion. You need to be passionate. You need to love what you're doing. At the same time, you have to be optimistic. At the same time, you have to be result oriented. Finally, you need to get result.
Correct.
So yeah, when all these parameter clicks, maybe it is some less here compared to others. Yeah, something like that.
Because ultimately, if we put it like that way, that every one of us, those who are listening or watching or would be watching in the course of time, everyone has ambition. There's nothing wrong to have ambition also. But what it matters is to reach towards some position. Somebody might take 15, 20, maybe 30 years, but at the same time, few of them takes 1/3 of the time.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. See, I don't think that time is a very important factor. There's an interesting saying that Obama became president in XY years and retired in maybe
50s.
In 50s, and someone else became president. He enjoyed his life till 75 years and has just become the president. So nothing is correct, nothing is wrong. Yeah, in your career, in everyone's career, we look for success. We want that very quickly. The much effort we put into our work and career, we want result. So yeah, if the result comes earlier, it's good.
Great. So in your conversation that I'm listening, that you said result. So as a HR guy, as a talent acquisition and organizational development perspective, how do you actually transforming the human resources towards the result that you are seeing it, right? Because traditional perspective, why I'm saying it is because maybe those who are watching would understand that the business, maybe it is not only the business, right? The result, like the money or finance or something like this, but you are in the HR, you are producing result. You are producing ultimately the workforce, right? Who produces the result?
Right. See, in your life, in any sector, whether you do your own business, you work for others' business or whatsoever, you need to be result oriented. You have to have a goal, and you need to drive it. You need to work to achieve that. So, as an HR professional, this is not only my characteristics, but we need to build this among them whom we actually look for, maybe whom we have already hired or whom are already with us. So, first of all, what we say that walk the talk. So, if you want to guide someone with something, want to show someone with someone something, basically you need to have example. So if you have practiced it in your life, maybe it is easier for you. The case becomes strong to guide them through. As a professional, we have got process and structure to build people towards certain towards certain soft skill. So if you say that as a HR professional, how we develop someone, how we create a result-oriented person, how we make someone result-oriented, goal-driven, we have got processes to do that.
So today's HR, I mean, do you directly go towards the business to understand the business, how it runs?
This is the key of today's HR. So,
but earlier it was not like the thinking. When it comes to thinking, the HR people, probably earlier days, they might not do this business-oriented thinking. What it today you are.
Well, it is
referring.
said in that way. The way I take it, that the HR which is not connected with business or any function that is not basically towards the goal of that organization, that function doesn't exist. So if there was any such HR which was not connected with the business, that maybe that was not the HR.
Okay.
That was something else, some other supportive function. But the true essence of HR is you need to help your business. You need to help them develop. You need to be partner of the business, not just a support hand.
Also, you need to have, do you think that need to understand the business essence, business acumen, how the technology is shifting, how the business is, the country economy is shifting?
Yeah, of course, because it depends on the industry. See, before coming to your session, I was just reading an article came a few days back in Daily Star that because of Industry 4.0, some 58.8 lakhs job may go on the threat in Bangladesh, and the majority is with the RMG sector. So the HR of RMG sector really think what will be their position in that time. See, while I was reading that article, I was also remembering another online article that I was reading a few days back, that Industry 4.0 will create more job than it demolishes.
Okay.
So how it will happen? You will be experience 9% of new jobs.
Okay.
So now HR needs to be well aware of what are the new jobs and what are the skill required for that new job, and you really need to create, really need to develop their employees or society.
So what are those new skills that, if you want to share, like they're looking forward in coming days, into the new business economy, the kind of new skill that you think we need to develop further, but it may not be existing today? Is there anything that you want to mention?
Well, see, the skill I'm talking about is the functional skill. So, functional skills basically evolves, and functional skills lies with the professionals who have been there in the system. So, the context maybe we are discussing about, especially with the for the new generation, the skill they may need to take the future challenge is not that different than the skill which they require maybe 5-10 years ago. Just the difference is maybe 10 years you were not there. Before 10 years you were not there. So today there is a system to guide them. If you ask me what is the new skill, the only thing I can mention is technology.
Which is kind of innovation, or innovation in technology, or in
not
innovation.
Not only innovation, but your human of the technical skills.
Disruption in the technology.
Maybe that.
Okay.
Yeah, because whatever you say automation, whatever you say Industry 4.0 is all related with the technology.
Yeah, AI.
So maybe technology is not a property of the engineers and technicians only.
Yeah.
So whatever the field you are, you have to be really well conversant of the technological advancement that is happening, and maybe you can acquire some technical skill that will be useful in your future career. Yeah.
So as a HR personnel, do you also think and believe that you also need to understand the technology while
Very much.
driving the business?
Very much.
So those who are interested into the HR industry, so need to be aware it's not only the HR, it's also the business and also the technological aspect, which is essential for the career growth.
Right. Very much required. Any field you are in, technology is the key. So, and what you were just saying, that disruption, you just you should be creator. What you have just said, you should be innovator. Using a technology is not the technological skill. For example, I use social media. Maybe is not the technological skill that you need only.
Correct. So what are the challenges, if you want to share, in today's perspective, into the career developmental perspective, like considering the challenges, the obstacles, and in order to overcome those challenges, what it requires?
Okay, so shall I say from the context of a young professional, or the context of or in our context?
You can say both. So what we want actually to understand the challenges that we are facing in every day, in every profession, and what it takes to overcome those kind of challenges, because challenges are there in every situation, in every industry, and also in every career.
Okay. So let me start with the expectation of the professionals. So then you can relate with the challenges, and then on the overcoming side, we can go with some suggestion for the youngsters. See, every blessings you have, if technology is a blessing, has two sides. Right? So technology has given you enough information very easily accessible information.
Correct.
But when the youngsters accesses this information, he is with a perception that, yeah, I know many things. Information is very easy. You ask anything, I can come up with the answer. But the problem lies that they're not going into the depth of the subject. So when you didn't have Google, you used to go to library.
Yeah.
To get one information, you used to refer 1,000 books. Now you do not need to do that. You know how to search smartly in Google
Right.
to find information.
Just within a minute.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe depth is demolishing. So, we professional used to talk about presentability, presentation skills. So, youngsters has been acquiring that skill and becoming smart. They can present well, but at the same time, they should be aware of it's not only presenting well, but the requirement of knowledge hasn't gone away. So maybe that's the challenge from the professional's point of view, because when you have hired someone in your organization, you have less scope to develop some basic skills. You are expecting that basic skill is given by the educational institution.
যে আপনি যেহেতু ট্যালেন্ট অ্যাকুইজিশন করছেন অন ইউর বিজনেস গ্রোথ অ্যান্ড কন্টিনিউয়াস ডিমান্ড, সাধারণত ট্যালেন্টগুলো আপনি যখন সিলেকশন করেন কোন কোন জিনিসগুলো আপনি ইউজুয়ালি ফোকাস করেন বা দেখার চেষ্টা করেন যে ওয়েদার আপনি বলছেন যে বেসিক জিনিসগুলো ইউ এক্সপেক্ট দে আর কামিং উইথ সাম বেসিক আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং, সো হোয়াট আর দোজ স্কিলস দ্যাট ইউ নর্মালি লুক ফরওয়ার্ড?
সে একটা ইয়াং প্রফেশনাল যেই জায়গাতে নিজেদেরকে ডেভেলপ করা উচিত এখন বলে আমি মনে করি, ইউনিভার্সিটিতে কিছু সার্টেন নলেজ তাকে দেয় আর কিছু তার দায়িত্ব থাকে নিজেকে বিল্ড করার জন্য। ফার্স্ট অফ অল, আদার দ্যান ফিউ সাবজেক্টস, বাংলাদেশের প্রেক্ষাপটে ইউনিভার্সিটি এডুকেশনটা ইজ এ ভেরি ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালিস্টিক। ইউ গো টু ক্লাস, ইউ লিসেন টু লেকচার্স, আপনি পড়াশোনা করেন, পরীক্ষা দেন, পাস করেন, অ্যান্ড দ্যাটস ইট। বাট ওয়েন ইউ কাম টু দ্য প্র্যাকটিক্যাল লাইফ, you do job or you do business, whatever you do it with people. You do not do it individually.
Alone, yeah.
So the first skill, the first যেটা আমি বলবো ফার্স্ট চ্যালেঞ্জ যেটা স্টুডেন্টগুলা এই ক্যাম্পাস টু কর্পোরেট ট্রানজিশনে ফেস করে, যে আমি একটা ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল লাইফ থেকে আমি একটা গ্রুপ লাইফে চলে আসলাম, where I need to do teamwork. সো স্টুডেন্টটা যেই স্কিলটা এই জন্য অ্যাকোয়ার করতে হবে, দ্যাট ইজ ইন্টারপার্সোনাল স্কিল, হাউ টু ডিল উইথ পিপল। হি রিয়েলি নিড টু বি গুড টিম ওয়ার্কার। সো কিছু কিছু এডুকেশনের সিস্টেম এবং প্রসেস তাকে দেয় এই স্কিলটা, বাট যেই সিস্টেম অ্যান্ড প্রসেস এডুকেশনে দেয় না, সেই স্টুডেন্টদের, সেই ডিসিপ্লিনের স্টুডেন্টদেরকে রিয়েলি নিড টু কাম আপ and develop that skill.
Interpersonal communication skill.
Right. It's more of an interpersonal skill. So it's the ability to work in a team environment. Then আসে হচ্ছে তার communication skill. So be it communicating in English or my native language, you really need to be well conversant in communication. So that is something you need to develop. You really need to be presentable. So whatever you do in your first connection with your employer or customer or whomsoever, you need to present yourself. You need to convince him with your points. So presentability and communication skill is required. Then comes phase by phase is your leadership skill.
Okay.
Those are your basics.
Yeah.
And then you go to the leadership one, the skill that to manage others, lead others, maybe motivate others.
Okay.
Okay? For that, you need certain skills. For example, that can be critical thinking, what do you say? That can be problem solving, you can say. That can be teamwork. That can be again interpersonal skill. But that is the ultimate goal. So, yeah, when an employer is looking for the ideal candidate is who has got the leadership skill also.
Correct.
If not, you at least need to maintain the other two, the basic ones.
So what are the key leadership skills that you think that students and young professionals should learn and then practice? Because leadership is actually all about the practicing some of the abilities and behavioral aspect. So normally আমাদের এখনকার দিনে কি ধরনের প্রত্যাশা থাকে যে এই যে behavioral aspect when he comes to the organizational context, there are so many people, there are so interdepartment, intra-department, the male, female and diversification on all of this. So একটু যদি কাইন্ডলি বুঝিয়ে বলেন যে ever changing and fast paced environment কি ধরনের জিনিসগুলা আমাদের ভিতরে বিল্ড করা দরকার?
আচ্ছা, সো দেখেন লিডারশিপ একটা স্টুডেন্ট তার স্টুডেন্ট লাইফে লিডারশিপ স্কিল পোর্ট্রে করার সুযোগ কিন্তু সে পায়, যেটাকে আমরা বলি এক্সট্রা কারিকুলার অ্যাক্টিভিটি। সো পড়ালেখার বাইরেও দের আর ডিফারেন্ট স্কোপস। এখন আমি আমার লিডারশিপ স্কিল যদি বিল্ড করতে চাই, হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ জাস্ট সেইড, আমার সেই প্ল্যাটফর্মটা লাগবে, সেই স্টেজটা লাগবে। সো আই রিয়েলি নিড টু বি কানেক্টেড উইথ আদার ওয়ার্কস, স্টাডির বাইরেও, আদার ক্রিয়েটিভ অ্যান্ড প্রোডাক্টিভ ওয়ার্ক ওয়্যার ইউ ক্যান বিল্ড ইয়োর লিডারশিপ স্কিল। আপনি তো প্রথম দিন গিয়েই তো লিডার হয়ে যাবেন না। সো যেই কাজটাই আপনি করেন সেই কাজটাতে আপনি একটা ভালো অবস্থানে যাওয়ার পরেই আপনি আরেকজনকে লিড করার স্কোপটাতে যাবেন। সো লিড করার যেই ক্যাপাসিটিটা দ্যাট ইজ ডিফারেন্ট। সেখানে কিছুটা নিজের ভিতরেও থাকে, গিফটেডও থাকে, কিছুটা সে সময়ের সাথে সাথে লার্ন করে ফেলে, বাট দ্য প্র্যাকটিস ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এখন অর্গানাইজেশনের জন্য সে যখন একটা ক্যান্ডিডেটকে খুঁজছে উইথ লিডারশিপ স্কিল, সো আমাকে ইন্টারভিউতে এসে যদি বলে আই এম এ বিগ লিডার, সো সার্টেনলি আই এম নট গোয়িং টু বাই ইট। সো হোয়াট আই নিড সাম এক্সাম্পলস। সো আপনি যেটা মাত্রই বললেন আসলে কি করা উচিত, এক্সাম্পলটা ক্রিয়েট করা উচিত। সো আমরা দেখি ক্যান্ডিডেটকে বলতে যে আই এম গুড ইন কমিউনিকেশন স্কিল, সো আই হ্যাভ গট দ্যাট মাচ অফ স্টার্স, you can see in the CV, so many stars. So these stars means nothing. I always, when I go to the universities and meet the young professionals, I used to say that. In your CV also, you need to come up with examples.
Yeah, right.
For example, if you say that you are good in English communication, you can say, rather than giving some stars in a graph, you can say that my result in so and so exam, my this score in so and so exam proves that I'm good in maybe written or verbal skill in English. So this is how maybe you can really prove or connect the employer.
What about also the university has different kind of extracurricular clubs and activities, and do you think that if our students and young professionals prior to come to the corporate, if they engage and involve into those extracurricular activities, could be debate, could be any other functions which would challenge them to come out of their normal traditional bookish theory knowledge and everything, right? so that you also can say that I have done some, these are the clubs, I have done, like I did this, I did that, I organized some event, I solved some issues. So will you buy in that those experiences?
এক্স্যাক্টলি, আমি ঠিক সেই জায়গাটাতে ছিলাম। সো এক্সট্রা কারিকুলার অ্যাক্টিভিটিস স্টুডেন্টস শুধুমাত্র নিজেদেরকে কনফাইন করে ফেললে চলবে না ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যে অ্যাভেলেবেল এক্সট্রা কারিকুলার অ্যাক্টিভিটিসগুলো আছে। অলসো সোসাইটিতেও কিন্তু দেয়ার আর মেনি স্কোপ টু বি ইনভলভড ইন সোশ্যাল ওয়ার্ক, ইন ডিফারেন্ট সোশ্যাল ফোরাম। আসলে খালি চলে গেলেই হলো না, যেখানে আমরা যে পারপাস নিয়ে কিছুক্ষণ আগে কথা বলছিলাম, যেখানে আমার পারপাস এবং ইন্টারেস্টটা কানেক্ট করে, সেরকম একটা সংস্থার সাথে, গ্রুপের সাথে জড়িত থাকা এবং রিয়েল টাইমে কিছু কন্ট্রিবিউট করা। সো আমাকে যদি এসে কেউ বলে যে আমি 10টা সংস্থার সাথে, 10টা ইউনিভার্সিটি ক্লাবের সাথে আমি জড়িত আছি, দ্যাট ডাজন্ট মিন এনিথিং। বাট আমি একটা ক্লাবের সাথে জড়িত আছি, অ্যান্ড দ্যাট ওয়াজ মাই রোল, দ্যাট ওয়াজ মাই অ্যাচিভমেন্ট, অর দ্যাট ওয়াজ মাই activities in the club, that will mean a lot. From there I can come up with some other questions, যে আসলে ওই কাজটা আপনি কেন করলেন, কি ভালো পেলেন, কি খারাপ করলেন, সেখান থেকে হয়তো আমি তার পার্সোনালিটির একটা ইয়েতে যেতে পারবো। সো আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিংয়ে যেতে, অ্যাসেসমেন্টে যেতে পারবো। সো দ্যাট ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট। হোয়াট এভার you do it seriously. You do not need to do many things. You do whatever you do it seriously. Be focused, be result oriented, bring some result and numbers.
ফ্যান্টাস্টিক। আপনি অনেকবারই বলছিলেন একটা জিনিসের ডেপথ, রেজাল্ট ওরিয়েন্টেড, লাস্টে যেটা বললেন যে ফোকাস। এখন আমাদের বর্তমান যে কনটেক্সট, আমরা খুব সহজেই ডিস্ট্রাক্টেড হয়ে যাই, আমাদের অ্যাটেনশন স্প্যানটাও খুব ভেরি লিমিটেড। অ্যাজ এ রেজাল্ট আমরা সহজেই কোনো কিছুতে ফোকাসড হতে পারি না। সো এই ধরনের কনটেক্সটে অনেকগুলো স্কিল নিয়ে কাজ করা, স্কিল নিয়ে কি আই এম জ্যাক অফ অল ট্রেড, উড ইউ প্রিফার, অর ইউ প্রিফার সামবডি হু হ্যাজ ইন ডেপথ ওয়ান স্কিল বাট হি ইজ রিয়েলি থরো? বিকজ অনেক সময় অনেক কোয়েশ্চেন থাকে, আমি নিজেও পাই যে আমি কি অনেক বিষয় মাল্টিটাস্কিং আমি হব, নাকি আমি একটা দুটা বিষয়ের উপর দক্ষতা অর্জন করব? আপনি বা আপনারা কোনটাতে প্রেফারেন্স?
চমৎকার প্রশ্ন। আসলে এই প্রশ্নটার উত্তর ঠিক ইদার অর করা যাবে না।
আচ্ছা,
বিকজ ইট ডিপেন্ড যে আপনি আসলে কোন কাজের জন্য কাকে খুঁজছেন। সো কোনো কাজের রিকোয়ারমেন্ট হয়তো মাল্টি স্কিল থাকে। আসলে মাল্টি স্কিল যেটাকে আমরা বলি, জ্যাক অফ অল ট্রেড maybe knows having medium knowledge in many things. কোনো কাজের জন্য হয়তো সেটা দরকার, কোনো কাজের জন্য হয়তো স্পেশালাইজড দরকার। সো এইটার আসলে সিদ্ধান্তটা আমি কাকে খুঁজছি তার উপর নির্ভর করে। তবে ডেপথের কথা যেটা বলছিলাম এবং ফিউচার স্কিল নিয়ে যেটা কথা হচ্ছিল, দেখেন আমি খুব পছন্দ করি একজন ভদ্রলোকের বক্তব্য, আমি ফলো করি, উনি হচ্ছেন জ্যাক মা। সো ওনার একটা বক্তব্যে আমি শুনছিলাম, ওনাকে উদ্ধৃত করে বলি যে মেবি past 20 years or maybe now it's more of a knowledge driven. Still we are knowledge driven, but a time will come then the time will be creativity driven. Yes, knowledge is the basic of the creativity. If you do not have the knowledge you cannot be creative, but also সামনের দিনটা আরো কঠিন। You really need to be creative, you really need to be imaginative. Because আমরা in last 20 years we have teach machines how to imitate, how to copy humans. So in next 20 years the machine will do what human can do. So you really need to do what machine cannot do. Future jobs are those jobs which machines cannot do. See, machines have ships, but what machine doesn't have is the heart.
Mm.
Huh? So if you have heart, you can be creative.
So that is, you're talking about the empathy and emotional intelligence.
Of course.
And today's world is actually grossly looking into this kind of leadership skill.
Exactly.
So how our young students, because since this is future-oriented skill set required, so how they can develop this, like empathy, being understanding, being supportive, and also understanding someone else's pain, so that he could be creative. So how they could develop this kind of, because this is something not everybody knows,
Okay.
not everybody practices as well.
Okay. See, basically that is the knowledge of the requirement of the skills that you need to become future ready. So what you were just saying, that empathy, supportive. So if somebody knows that these are some human skills that you need, not only to be successful in the career, but also to be a good human being. So then only you can practice. You see? So these are not something that can be taught in the classroom or university.
Correct.
This is something you need to know. These are the good human quality, and I need to practice it to become a nice human. So maybe that is the key. That is the key. So information is the key. So it is required to go with these youngsters with the right sort of information, with right sort of coaching and mentoring capacity, to inform them what are the skills that is required to become future ready. Some skills can be developed, some skills can be imparted, some skills can be informed only to be practiced.
So in order to create that machine, in order to run the machine, that one thing you are saying, that essentially we need to be creative and also imaginary. So we need to have a clarity, also the vision. So without the clarity and vision, the creativity also doesn't come. And you also saying that the thinking ability, the creative thinking ability, that determines actually also the ability of a good thought provoking leader, and which also essentially connects to become empathy and also having emotionally connected in today's world. So these are the, if I sum up, right, these are the skills. And you're also talking about that something also need to be developed, guided and mentored. So if you can help us to understand the importance of mentoring and coaching today in order to be successful into the corporate life or into the social life or into the any context of our life. We have different part of life.
Okay, so Kamrul bhai, maybe you will be the maybe I would say the better person to comment on that, the importance of networking and also the difference of conventional teaching and the mentoring. I would expect that answer from you also at the end. But from my understanding is mentoring is way above the conventional modality of teaching. So mentoring doesn't ends with a particular book or particular chapter, particular subject, particular course. It's a process.
Okay.
It's a process. So your mentor is your lifetime mentor.
Yeah.
Of course, your teacher is your lifetime teacher, but the mentor has a deeper impact, more subject oriented, more result driven impact in your life to bring some result. So in that case, in this context, where we were talking about the youngsters, how they can be future ready. Yes, it is very much important to connect them with right sort of information and knowledge, and maybe mentoring to make them future ready, because some skills that are required in the professional life, professional span, may not be known or shared in the conventional educational institution.
Correct.
So yeah, so it's a kind of a handshaking process between the industrial experts and the educational institution. Maybe in that context, the role of a mentor should be more of a connecting them with
Right.
right the right persons,
Right persons, right
in
tools,
the right
techniques.
tools in the industry to create a holistic network.
Absolutely. And what I also want to add, that is the kind of difference it makes to have right mentoring and coaching is like, if I can just give an example, like parallelly we are going towards the same direction, and the mentor and coach, they look into from outer aspect of the force that we, like this is 2% going. So the impact could be like as you go months, then couple of months, then 6 months, you see the difference, it becomes like this. One goes into that direction or this vertical, another person with a little guidance and mentoring and coaching, like the difference creates like that way. Why is that? Because the coach and the mentors, they see from the outer perspective. They see, they are from the out of the force, you are into the force, and this is the little changes and little things means little things added on, and that's how it makes a difference ultimately towards reaching any destination. And that's how it is important. Not necessarily the mentor and the coach is the superior, but they can make you to become superior. You can think about like the Messi, you can think about Ronaldo or Sayeed Nasir or anybody. The mentor and coaches, they made them better. Not necessarily the coach or the mentor, they were better, but they made them better. And that's the kind of difference and impact creates over any person's life. So having a right mentor or coach, truly significant today, and it has truly impactful impact over some time. And if we need to understand the context and situation today, how we are doing, what we are doing, and what is the ultimate field that we are actually tackling. So right tools, as you said, right method, right process, that makes the ultimate difference, because somebody has the right tools, right methods, right technology, somebody does not. And if you combine all these things with the right mentoring and coaching, you can create an ultimate force, and bang, you can reach towards the destination which somebody would reach into 10 years, and you can reach into 3 years. That's the kind of difference only I can say, if it is aided by. So thank you so much for all this knowledge and wisdom, and sharing it with us that you have gained over the years. And we believe that it's going to help you to understand the context of today, and also to know something about tomorrow, what is coming forward. So get ready, be prepared, and once you're equipped, you don't have any fear to face the challenges. But if you have the fear only then, because you don't have the tools, you don't have the weapon to face. So rather be prepared to face it, then you can overcome the challenges. One last thing, if you want to say something for the young talents, young generations and students.
Well, if it is the last sentence, I would like to say that you should be having a strong purpose in your life. You should know yourself very well, what you are, what you want to do, and if you are determined in your purpose, no one can stop you. Thank you.
Absolutely. You would become unstoppable. Nobody would be able to stop you if it is driven from heart and mind together. Some of us, we are only driven by head, but some of us also driven by only heart. But if you can combine these two together, you know your core values, you know your passion, and also you know the purpose, which is the overarching goal. So be driven by purpose. Do not drive only the goals, because some of us, we may want to become a doctor, engineer, nothing wrong. But what you want to do, what you want to become, wants to become a doctor, what you want to become, wants to become an engineer. That determines your path, that determines your speed, and that's the overall overarching goal. And that's the missing leg today. We hope and believe that this would create an essence simply inside your mind to ignite your passion and purpose, and thus you become unstoppable. We wish you all the very best to become unstoppable for tomorrow's career.
Wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for staying with us. All the best.
All the best.